There we are. Good morning.
Good morning.
May the force be with you. we are in another place today.
Yeah, very nice.
It's very nice. It's very inspired. Where is it? Here is it. It's the Art Cafe in Vienna. It's a cool place. There are actually two, you know?
What?
There are two. There are one here and one, I think, around Votivkirche.
This is not a sponsor.
No.
publicity.
By the way,
We even have to
we
pay
don't
for a coffee.
even pay the coffee. Yeah, it's nothing for free in this life. Except joy. Joy is for free.
Yes,
Yeah.
except joy.
Except joy, yeah.
And we have Isa today.
We have Isa also today. She's sick. But she's better.
Yeah.
She looks better. She's going back to school. Okay, good. Now hide yourself. You're not allowed to get... Non?
Okay.
Isa, du kannst nicht auf das.
Et pourquoi?
Parce que... So yeah, what
Non.
was
Pourquoi?
the thing of today? Yeah, indeed, positioning maybe is interesting. How one can position himself in this life, I would
I don't
say.
know.
And why to do it.
In
You
what
know?
sense?
In the sense of how... Bitte. In the sense of being able to say what is your deep need and what is your deep call within your heart, so that you can stay true to yourself. Somehow in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is helping Arjuna to indeed answer to the call of the heart and not the one
Macarena.
of the ego.
Macarena.
And very often we have problem to positionate ourselves because we do think from the ego and act always out of the
Mama.
ego instead of acting out of the soul,
Maman.
like what is our true nature.
Ah.
But in the way of fulfilling your duty, because that is also in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, you of course have to achieve your duty and find your mission, but one shouldn't establish his duty because of his ego, because then he will always be into this fight of what is superior or inferior, but more realize his duty and achieve them. When it's achieved through the soul, then there is not anymore this duality of plus and minus. What is good, what is not good, what is superior, what is inferior, what is the best, what is the worst. You're just doing what is meant to be done. You're doing what we call the right action.
But
And
how
then-
do you identify the right action from the play of the ego?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
origin of it. Where do you do it from? So indeed, if you act out of your ignorance, which is of course always the case, you always act out of ignorance, or let's say more, you always react out of ignorance. If you do it this way, then the action will find its origin within an attachment to pleasure, or within the sense of I, or within the aversion to pain, or indeed within the clinging to life or the fear of death. And when the action finds its origin within there, then indeed this action is more to say a reaction. You're actually reacting according to a memory, according to a filter that's placed on your eyes, and then this kind of action indeed will be coming out of the ego and will not be free.
So in a practical sense, first you observe the action and the root of the action.
Yes.
What is driving you? What motivates you? And then
She's smart, I like it. And then, go ahead. Very
and then you start to rip the layers
good. Yeah.
and the excuses.
You have to see why are you doing it. What is really at the origin? Like, am I really helping someone because I'm looking at the suffering of the person, or am I helping
No.
someone?
You have to help someone.
Yeah,
You
of
have
course.
to look how the person are not good.
Exactly, she's right. You have to help someone, and not because of the way you look at them, or the way you look at yourself when you help someone, or not because of the way you look at yourself when you do not help someone. Because many people also would just act just because they wouldn't like to recognize that they are not acting in their head. Like sometimes some people, they give money to a beggar not because they see this need of the beggar, just because they don't want to feel bad passing in front of the person without giving the money. You're not allowed to be there because you're a minor. I don't want you to appear on a thing like Instagram
Why not?
because you're a kid
And
and your picture is still protected. And when you will be adult, you can define and decide if you want that your face is in there. For now, I do not want to decide for you. Freedom has consequences.
Yeah, also when you are a kid, you don't have freedom. Decisions are taken for you,
Yeah.
but then you have to have this transition in which stop blaming the decisions to someone else and start taking
Yeah,
the
taking your own
responsibility.
risk.
Stop
Yeah.
being a child. The decision has not been made for you.
Yeah. And so somehow this is what happens when you stop putting on the other ones, then you have to see why you are doing something. What is your responsibility? What is indeed the root of your action? What is the founding for what you do? And as long as it stays within the field of the ego and the mind, then this action is not free. It will continue to produce consequences and karma. As soon as this action comes from the soul, then indeed it is somehow free. But free in the sense that it's free of karma. It's free not to reproduce itself again. Once you really see the suffering of somebody and you help because you see the suffering of this person, then the next time you will be confronted in this situation, this is what will be recognized by you and not your ego. You will be able to exactly establish into compassion instead of being constantly into self-reflection. Most people, they are just in a constant self-reflection of themselves, what they feel, what they think, what they want, what they need, what about them, you know. But it's not only about the I, it's also about us, about others. And this is what is the soul. Like the soul doesn't think I, it thinks we. Like we are together. It's almost like a... And actually that's interesting because I was looking at it this morning. I saw, I think some politicians, they have no shame. I will not name them. But in Vienna, some elections are coming. And you have some politicians that they actually made like a flyer with their face on top. Like, this is us, we are the good one. And then down, they put the picture of the other party and say, and this is them.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
That's pure ego. Amen. Don't vote for this guy. Because who can dare doing something that is so much
To
coming out?
elevate yourself, you have to put someone else down.
How shame is it? It's shameful,
horrible.
no?
That's
It's
horrible.
They put somebody down to say, yes, I'm good because you are very low. That's... What is this? No?
You cannot rise by yourself. You need to step on someone.
It's this is, for example, purely the mind. I oppose myself to you. You know, and of course it doesn't make sense because you're not a better person because somebody else is bad. You can be as bad as this person. It makes no difference. And indeed, that's why I came to the politician, because when they have like slogan like saying, hey, we are all together, this is what they are trying. They are trying to speak to your soul. So
That
that your
can
mind
help.
doesn't activate, because the
Yeah.
mind is judgmental, the mind is criticizing, the mind has opinion. But the soul is just pure loving.
Yeah, but
Okay.
also is to identify the words that people use. Like we said the other day, people are very smart to manipulate. So they use words that have a kind connotation,
Yeah.
but in a devilish way.
Yeah, it's horrible,
Like
no?
yeah, like we are together, but what is the deep message between that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So read the language.
Here is the flyer. You didn't see because it was the truck. Look, our Vin, his Vin. And up they are happy and
I mean-
smile. And down she's doing the long face.
Also in black and
How
white.
this is possible? This should be forbidden. I will not show you the thing because
That's horrible. And
it's not
also,
allowed.
the
but
guys
it shouldn't
up
be
there
allowed
in a
to do this.
family sharing
It's
a
horrible.
meal, and the guy down looks like a criminal.
Yeah, and it looks like yeah. It's also so strange. You see this black and red.
Yeah.
It's really like
Like
turning in like a
devilish, yeah.
devilish, bloody person. I mean, maybe he's. I don't know. I know nothing about politics, but still, I think it's so.
That's horrible.
That's a bit sick. I
Yeah.
think when you see
But
this
I've seen
about
this
politics,
also.
it's
No,
a
no,
bad
I've
sign.
seen also
It's a bad sign.
an advertising about Vienna, and it says something like Vienna is like Berlin but with better coffee. And I said that's so unnecessary. Like, why do you have to put Berlin
Yeah.
down?
Is it
Of course
true,
it's-
by the way, that they are better coffee? It's silly.
I don't know, but
No,
why,
it's really way to
would you
put
call
yourself-
this?
Yeah, it's really strange. Why to put the others down to feel yourself high? I mean, it doesn't work this way. One has to be strong enough within himself and beautiful within himself and powerful within himself. And this is what is positioning, is when you stop justifying your behavior according to the outer world. Because you do this, I have to do that. Yes, yes. Ah, but I love it. I love it. Like you cannot, when you do this, then indeed when you positionate yourself, then you can also elevate yourself. As long as you compare to the others and say, yeah, your attitude make me do this. No, it's not true.
Yeah, take responsibility
I am
for your
responsible
act.
for what I do.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why you should never compare, which brings us back to the conversation we had on the way. That's why within the teaching you don't need to compare yourself. Not to other teaching, not to other people. It's ridiculous. You have to stand within yourself, not within the others.
Yeah, and to read when somebody is doing a comparison, why are they doing it? Like what's the necessity they need to feel with this?
Yeah. Interesting. I still cannot believe this thing. Such a shame. I mean, consciousness can indeed be so low.
With so much makeup also. People,
Yeah,
it is very
like so
interesting that
fake.
people that pray that they have the most elevated consciousness, usually it's because they are covering something very dark. Yeah, they're, what is this phrase? Which one? Like you are hiding monsters under your carpet.
Yeah, you're having your skeleton in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Take them out.
Yeah.
Stand for yourself. Accept the color of who you are and of the people around you.
So this is an invitation to help you evaluate your actions and see where you're not taking responsibility. When and how are you blaming the others for the things that are happening to you?
Yeah. Take responsibility. Elevate. Speak from the soul.
The force is gonna be with you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it is. I like this one. That's a good one.
That's from Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. I like it. It's Bad Bunny, not Big Bunny.
It should be Hot Bunny.
Happy day.
Namaste.
Namaste. May the force be with you.
Me gusta.